Okay, guys, welcome to Ice Education. My name is Ice. Here we go. We are doing interior meshes differential equation. If you remember yesterday, I've talked about interior point and interior load. I'm gonna try to move a bit fast because we are kind of behind. If you remember, I said your first condition here is the initial condition. So the guy here inside the bracket will always be your x0, and the guy inside this bracket, sorry, and it's sliding a bit out of the mouse. This is better. And the guy inside this bracket here will always be x final. If you remember, I even took an example yesterday that you have a life from varsity to where you worked, and I took an example between the girls that you met or whoever you met along this period. Now you are about to get married, and
I
you have, yes, my brother.
sorry to disturb me.
You're not
On the
disturbing
new
me.
book that the lecture gave us, Nick,
Hmm.
it doesn't say is equals to zero. It says is equals to sine x.
This one here.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, let's change this. Let's say this is sine x. Is it fine?
Yes.
Yeah, so the problem is the same, but instead of 0, it's sine x, right?
Yes.
Okay, then we'll deal with it like that. Interior meshes. Basically, what you're trying to look, if you remember, for each value of x, let's say you have x0, you have the value of y0. You have x final, you have the value of y final. So what's happening is, in this problem, basically what you are doing, you are trying to find out between the x's that was there in between, like let's say a period of your life wherever you met, and she wants to find out which one did you have maybe kids with or abortion with, whatever may be the story, if I can relate it to life. So you want to find out how many x's are there and what was their impact in your life. That is your y, if I can relate it like that. So you have a beginning point which I call a, which is x0, this point here. I usually call it a, and I call this b. So to find your step h, it is always b minus a over n. So your b is the value here, which is 2. So you have 2 minus 1 over n. The value of n is given here. It will always be provided, which is 2. So if you do this calculation, it is 0.5. I'm really sorry if I'm moving a bit fast, but I believe these steps, is it fine, right, Ochin?
Mr. Ice, you said there it's what? It's h is equals to b minus a over
N.
or
This is the
over
value of
n.
n. N will always be provided.
But also in the book, the n has changed to 4.
Is it the same problem?
Yeah, it's the same problem. It just changed here because it's
No
now.
problem. In this case, n is 4. So when you take your calculator, what do you have here as answer? I think 0.25, if I'm not.
Yeah, 0.25.
It doesn't matter, Mr. OG, as long as we do it. But yeah, n is 4 in this case, and this side is not 0. It's basically sine x. This is a great example. It will save us time by doing this. Now here's the thing. You have the value of x0. x0 here is 1. So your y0 here is 1 as well in this case. So you need to look for x1. What is x1? x1, it is the value of x0 plus h. H is called a step, what you are using to calculate. How can I relate a step to real life? Let's say you've spent 10 years in celibate and you got a wife now. She wants to find out after 2 years, each 2 years, who were you with? That's your step. So in this case, the step is 0.5. So you start from 1, you add 0.25. You have 1.025. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's it. Y1, you do not know. You come again here for x2. What is x2? x2, it is this value that you have here. You add again plus the step. You add 1.025 plus 0.25. I think it will give you 1.5. Now you have y2. You need to solve for it. You go for x3. X3 will be, is someone joining? Tsunzuka Moyano. And this would give 1,75. So 1,75 gives y3, which we don't know. Now we have x4. X4, which is 2. But remember, 2 is our final guy. So definitely x4 is x final. So we know it. Definitely y4 in this case here is equal to 6. So you have x0 and you have y0. You have x4 and you have y4. So what you are looking for is the y in between. This is what I related yesterday as the girls as you met in between your life, and now you want to find out which one did you have kids with, abortion, or whatever story. That's the main story. So basically what we are doing here, we are solving for y1, y2, and y3. That's why they call it interior meshes. Am I too fast, guys?
Nah, you're okay.
I'm okay. Okay, then we are good.
Right. So
Yes.
when they say interior mesh points, meaning that if they give us that on the, let's say for y2 ne, is equals to 6, that it means, so this n is the boundary that at x4, meaning that at x4 is equals to 2, then y4 is equals to 6.
Yes, that's what I said. And I say the value inside here for the first one will always be your x0. And I repeated yesterday, x0 is not always 0. It depending on who's stating the problem. As you can see in this case, x0 is 1. Do you see it, my brother? And I
Okay.
took an example even about life. We don't all start from the same initial condition. Maybe yours, you started from a rich family, someone else started from a poor family. That is what we call initial condition. It depends on.
So if in a situation where that y1 it was y0, that it means that x0 is equals to that value.
No, let me hear your question again. Is there a situation where?
That you see now it says y1 is equals to 1. You said that
Okay,
it means that
y1
x0
y1 is
is
equal to
equals
1.
to 1.
This is the
So
value of x0.
0. So meaning that
This
if that y0, if we have a situation where it says y bracket 0 is equals to, let's say,
y
0.
bracket 0 is equal to 0.
Yeah.
It means the value of x0 is 0. Remember, I said the value inside here is x0.
Okay.
You did this in Math 1 when you had f of x is equal to, let's say, 2x plus 4x plus 1. And then they said, calculate f of x for x equal 1. What do you do, my brother?
You substitute with that
You
number.
substitute. You put 1 here. Do you agree? And
Yeah.
then you put whatever you have here to find. But remember, the value inside here is your x. It is basically what is happening here. The value inside your bracket on the first boundary will always be your initial point. It will always be your x0. So literally what it means, I can come on the first condition and say y of 2 is equal to 10. It means in this case x0 is 2 and y0 is 10. So you don't have to claim it. You just need to know and understand it. Is that one fine?
So
Yes,
as
it's fine.
you see that y2 equals to 6, right?
Yes, somebody.
So it acts as our final condition, right? Like once
Yes.
you get that x4 to be equals to 2, that is our y4, which is equals to 6. So meaning that we stop doing the calculations, right?
We stop doing that. Remember, you
Oh,
have a
okay.
boundary point. You have the beginning. You have A and B. Now you want to find out what is happening here. Let's say
Uh,
randomly you want to start a check from 2012 to 2026. Now, when you reach 2026, you stop. You see what I
yeah.
mean? You don't have to go over. because your check is between 2022 and 2026. That's what you are doing.
Okay.
Yeah. It is as easy as we are speaking about it. This is the initial condition and this is the final condition. And then you want to find out what is happening in between. That's why they call it interior mesh. Interior. It's not exterior. Is the English making sense, manager?
Yeah, it's making sense, Mr. Ice.
Yeah. I think I'm improving there, my brother. It's not that bad. Okay, let's move, guys. So this is what you do as first step. You get your step, your h, and then you add the h in each of these until you get the value of your final x and y. From there, you need to solve for the y's in between, which is called interior matches. Now, what do we do? This video will be posted on my YouTube channel just right after the class. I will make it available for everybody. The problem we changed it is now this equal to sine x. This is actually great. If you remember yesterday, let me just erase this just for space. Okay, if you remember yesterday, I gave you two formulas. You have a formula for y second. I'm repeating here. It's actually easy, this problem, guys, and I'm expecting you all to get it. This test has to be easy. There's nothing complicated, believe me. Once we get this, we move to those interpolation. You just follow the rules that I give you, should be fine. I plus 1 minus 2y I plus y I minus 1 everything over h squared. Now you have y prime. You have two formulas for y prime and for y second and for y prime. For y second it is y I plus 1. Please, you need your calculator. I'm not gonna brief it. I want us to solve it actually fully. So you will need your calculator. I don't have mine, so you will help me. Over 2h. This is what you need to remember. And wherever you see a y in that problem, you simply consider it as yi. Wherever you see a x, you simply consider by xi. You will see what I mean. This is actually a perfect example. Let's start with this one. I'm just going to rewrite it, push the things up. This is what we are solving. To be equal to sine x. Now, this is what we are solving, manager. So we're going to substitute the formula that we have inside here. We do have y second. I only copy my formula and paste. So I'll be having yi plus 1 minus 2yi. This is actually easier, my boy. Plus yi minus 1 everything over h squared. Now, plus 3, where you have y prime, you substitute your formula. yi plus 1 minus yi minus 1 everything over 2h. Now,
sorry to
yes,
disturb, just sorry to disturb you. Is that 1 to the power 2 minus y, or it's 1 minus 2y?
where here?
Yeah. It's
No, this one is
yi plus 1 minus 2y, or that thing is that it's a power.
no, it's not a power. It's like yi plus 1, and then you come here 2y1.
Oh, okay.
yi. Yeah, sorry about it. It's not a power.
Okay.
Remember, okay, let me just give you all the I. They are NDs. They are under. Do you see what I mean? Sorry, I know this minus. I know my handwriting might confuse sometimes. but that's what I mean. So what I'm doing is, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just substituting the formula. Where there is a y on its own, I simply substitute by what? By yi. To be equal, where there is a sign, I substitute sign. Where there is x, I substitute by xi. This is the first step. You just write your formula. Where there is y, you put I. Where there is x, you put I. Just like that. Now, what do you do? Second things to do to make it easier for you, I usually cancel h square. So to cancel h square, you multiply everything. Control Z. You multiply everything by h square. Do you agree if I multiply everything by h square here? I'm doing it step by step. This side down here, I will only be having yi plus 1 minus 2 y plus yi. Guys, mathematics is very easy. Don't look at this I whatever, just follow the step. It's the easiest thing, math. Plus, if I multiply here, remember, if I put, let's say I put h square here. Remember, I'm multiplying everything by h square. Do you agree that the square will cancel the h here? Do you guys agree? Right?
Yes.
So basically what you'll be having in this instance, if I can call it, I can write it 3 over 2 h multiplied by yi plus 1 minus yi minus 1. Now remember, here you will be having 2h square yi. I'm multiplying everywhere by h square, and believe me, this step will be repeat teaching for all the problems that you have. And on this side here, you got h square sine of xi. That's what I've done. The only thing that I've done, I've multiplied everywhere by h square to cancel it, to make it easier. Now, we've got a choice. We know the value of h, right? If we pen, we know that h is 0.25. So to make this expression easier and understandable for us, can you guys please substitute on this side? We don't need substitution. What would be having here would be yi plus 1 minus 2 yi plus yi minus 1 plus. Can you give me this value, guys? Remember, h is 0.25. Can you calculate 3 over 2 times 0.25? What's the answer? Please, let's be fast. I do not have a calculator. Please help me so that we can move. Guys, it's 18 minutes already that I started to record. Let's yeah, we have a lot to cover, so Sunzuka, what's the answer? 3 over 2. I hope there's no mistake here. Yeah, this is 3, so it's 3. This to 3 over 2 multiplied by 0.25. What's the answer? Ochi. No, guys, you need to.
It's 3
Yes.
over, it's 3 over 8, which is 0.375.
Yeah. Why is this thing freezing here? Don't do that. What